All right, let's dive right into this explainer. If you've ever found yourself pausing mid-sentence, kind of just wondering whether you should be saying a, an, or the, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're going to master those tiny, special adjectives that cause a surprisingly massive amount of confusion in the English language. We are breaking down the definitive rules of English articles.
So, here's our game plan for today. First, meet the articles. Second, indefinite articles, a and an. Third, the definite article, the. And finally, we'll wrap up with the ultimate article quiz.
Section 1. Meet the articles. Let's start the warm-up with a proper introduction.
Okay, so here's the crucial thing. A, an, and the aren't just random filler words we throw into sentences to make them sound right. No way. They are actually classified as special adjectives. Think about it like this. Just like a regular adjective modifies a noun by describing it, these little articles modify nouns by pointing them out or specifying them. They're super small, but they pack a massive punch when it comes to the actual meaning of your sentence.
Section 2. Indefinite articles, a, an. Let's see how this duo operates.
We call them indefinite because they don't point to one specific unique thing. They just refer to a general version of a noun. And what's really fascinating here is how the choice between a and n actually boils down entirely to sound. We're talking vowels versus consonants. You use n before singular count nouns that begin with a vowel letter like a, e, I, o, u, or, and this is absolutely key, a vowel sound. Think an apple or an elephant. On the flip side, you use a before singular count nouns that start with consonant sounds, so a stamp or a desk. It's really all about how the word just rolls off the tongue.
But beyond just the starting sound, there are specific grammatical situations where you absolutely have to use these indefinite articles. First off, before unspecified singular nouns, like if you're asking to borrow a pencil. Literally any pencil will do. Second, before number collectives and certain numbers like a dozen or a gallon. Third, we use them before a singular noun that's followed by a restrictive modifier. For example, a girl who is wearing a yellow hat. You're introducing someone specific for the first time in the conversation. And lastly, we use them to form adverbial phrases of quantity, amount, or degree.
And honestly, this quote brilliantly illustrates that last rule we just talked about, using a to form an adverbial phrase of degree. Look at a bid. It modifies the adjective depressed, telling us exactly how depressed the person felt. It's a tiny little word doing some seriously heavy lifting to give the sentence its exact meaning.
Moving on to Section 3, the definite article, the. Time to meet the heavyweight champion of this explainer.
Unlike our previous duo, which only deal with singular count nouns, the is incredibly versatile. It can be used before almost any noun type. Singular, plural, things you can count, things you literally can't count, the handles the whole shebang. It is the ultimate grammatical multitasker when you really want to get specific.
But, of course, it does have its own specific rules. You use the when a noun has already been specified in context. For instance, if we're in a room together and I say, please close the door, well, you know exactly which door I mean. You also use it for unique nouns like the Columbia River or natural phenomena like the wind. It's also required for time periods like in the 1980s and when you're referring to all members of a family as a single unit. To put that last rule into perspective, just imagine you're hosting a neighborhood dinner party. You wouldn't just invite a baker, because that would just be one random member of the family. By using the bakers, you are inviting the entire family unit. The definite article perfectly packages them all together.
Section 4. The Ultimate Article Quiz. Training is officially over.
We've covered the vowels, the consonants, the general, and the specific. Let's see how you do in a quick lightning round. First up on the hot seat, did you bring a, an, or the umbrella? Think back to our vowel sound rule from earlier. Go ahead and lock in your answer.
And the answer is an umbrella, because umbrella starts with that distinct, short vowel sound. An is the clear winner here. Did you bring an umbrella? It just flows perfectly.
Okay, let's jump to a slightly harder one. She will come back in a, an, or the hour. This one is kind of tricky with the pronunciation, so pay super close attention to how that word actually sounds when you say it out loud.
It's an hour. Now I know what you're thinking. Hour starts with the letter H, which is for sure a consonant. But the H is silent. It actually begins with an O vowel sound, hour. Because of that vowel sound, we absolutely have to use an.
She will come back in an hour.
Let's change scenery for this next one. Have you been to an, or the Space Needle Tower in Seattle? Try to apply our rules for unique nouns here.
Yep, it's the Space Needle Tower. There is literally only one Space Needle Tower in Seattle. It's a completely unique noun, making it a one-of-a-kind landmark. Therefore, it totally requires our definite article, the.
All right, final test before we recap everything. What, an, or the amazing view? Here's the hint. Look really closely at the modifier directly following the blank space, rather than the noun itself.
You got it, an amazing view. The word amazing starts with an A vowel sound, which dictates our choice of an. Even though the ultimate noun at the end of the phrase is view, the article always agrees with the sound of the word immediately following it. So, an amazing view.
Let's step back and look at the final overview. Here is your ultimate cheat sheet for the entire 10-question challenge. You can see right here how we applied all those rules. We have specific contexts, like checking the mailbox again, because we know exactly which mailbox we mean. We have vowel sounds tricking us, like an hour, and we have unique situations like the roof of a building. Take a second to just see how these special little adjectives lock the exact meaning of every single sentence into place.
So here's what it all comes down to. These tiny words entirely shape the exact meaning of our sentences. They're literally the difference between asking for any pencil and the pencil. Next time you're writing an email or telling a story to a friend, I want you to notice how your brain automatically filters through these rules. Are you being general or are you being definite? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.